first and foremost, I want to appreciate you guys for even tuning in to us. You know, there could be a million other podcasts that you're listening to, and you're actually with us today. So I want to definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in with us. All right. So once again, I go by the name of Gerard, and a little bit about myself. I'm going to make the first introduction. I'm originally from Miami, currently reside in Tampa. Tampa is the city of champions, right, fellas?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Tampa Bay.
Go Bucks.
Yeah, go Bucks.
And the Lightning.
And the Lightning. Hey, let's not forget about it.
I don't watch hockey, so yeah.
Hey. I went to USF. I am a member of Phi Beta Sigma, and this is actually where I met my brother here, Stan. Go mob. Besides that, let's go ahead and flip it over just to give a brief introduction. Stan, what you got, fam?
What's up, people? I'm Stan. This is Stanley. Originally from Haiti, so shout out to my Haitians. Yeah, so I've been in Tampa since I was really young, so raised in Tampa. My family and I were actually political refugees, and you know we moved here. We had to flee Haiti. So you know, life changed a lot since we've been here. You know, I've come from a big family. I went to USF as well. Now I work as a real estate investor. I bounced around in the corporate world for many years. So, you know, until I finally found my calling. My interests include just being on the water, being on the beach, you know, enjoying sunny Florida, enjoying Tampa, what it has to offer.
Right.
And yeah, so I'm excited to be a part of the podcast with these fellas.
Yes, sir.
We've known each other for a very long time, and we'll talk about that soon. But yeah, that's pretty much it about me. I'm gonna flip it over to Craig.
Cool. My name is Craig. I was actually born and raised here in Florida. I've been here my whole life. Of course, traveled out the state and out the country a few times, but born and raised in Tampa, Florida. A little bit about me. I didn't go to school right away. I actually joined the military. I'm in the military now, Air Force Reserve. Been in for 12 years. I just made captain, which is a really big accomplishment from
Congrats.
Appreciate it.
That's a real big accomplishment.
Another thing about me, I went to nursing schools. I have my bachelor's in nursing. I went to South University, and then from there, worked at the VA hospital, got some experience with the Air Force and with the VA, and I became to be a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, which is what I'm doing right now. I work inpatient acute psych for crisis patients on the crisis stabilization unit, and I also work outpatient psych as well to telehealth. I have a telehealth private practice, so I'll give you guys some more information about that a little bit later.
Yes, sir. Now, as far as because this is actually going to be an introduction episode, just to let you guys get to know us a little better as we continue on with this podcast. So I want to ask you guys, me and Stan, we met through our fraternity. Craig, how did you guys meet?
Man, I met Stan at Middleton.
Yeah, it's been like 20 years.
Yeah, I'm about to hit 20 years.
Like 20 years,
this year or not next year. But I met Stan in 10th grade at Middleton High School. So we've been knowing each other for a long time. Grew up, hung out a lot. Knowing his family, knowing my family. So it's been a minute since 10th grade, almost 20 years friendship. No arguments, no differences, nothing like that.
Yeah, we got some pretty crazy stories too.
Yeah.
We'll another time.
Another time, yeah. There's so much crazy stuff.
I've heard. Where's Middleton at in Tampa? Is it like
It's in the hood.
Yeah. On Osborne somewhere. Osborne the 22nd, I think, or Osborne something.
Yeah, so y'all got stories.
In Osborne, yeah.
Time passes by really fast when you actually, think about it. Seems like yesterday, we just met, but definitely, excited to continue this journey with you.
I see some old photos. We look mad young, man. I don't know if we just look young back then or we just we just look old now. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, when you look back at these photos, man, you look, we don't even have beards, bro.
I'm still struggling to grow mine. I got like 10 hairs, man. I've never grown a beard or a mustache.
Oh man, yeah. Now you gotta.
They say a beard is like a wig for women.
I'm about to give you one of them lace fronts, man.
I could never shave this off. They wouldn't even recognize me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, Craig, yeah, man, you definitely got to get some oils, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I've been doing so much.
Welcome to the beard gang.
I've been doing so much to try to get this up to grow. I think I got like a total of 20 hairs at one point, but I had to cut off because of the military. But this is as far as it goes.
The thing is, like, you really appreciate it as you get older too, because it's like having that smooth baby face. It's like as I get older, it's like I think I look my age. Since I started growing out facial hair. Like,
so what are some of the hobbies y'all get into? Like, I know Stan, you said something about like the boat and all that stuff. I know you have a boat. You actually just got the boat, but tell us a little bit more about your experience with your boat, man.
It's been good, man. It's something that I've always wanted to get. So, last year I went and bought a boat. There was nothing really stopping me. I wanted to get out on the water and enjoy it. And just driving it has been a process.
Right.
Just getting used to it. And I definitely got some stories about the first couple times I took it out.
I was about to say, you got any incidents you wanted to tell us about the boat?
Well, the first time I took it out, I was on the causeway it's over by Tampa Bay for those not familiar with Tampa, and man, there's so many like sandbars, hidden sandbars out there, and I was unfortunate enough to hit one. And got stuck in it for a few seconds, but I was able to like maneuver my way out, and I just got to be more cautious with that. But like I said, it's a process.
Gotcha.
I'm learning where things are, using my depth finder, and
It's the growth, but it's good that you got to actually step out.
I think that's a hobby that more people got to get into, man. As far as like boating, right? And Craig, I know you have a really interesting hobby. We're gonna get into that as well. But just starting off with boating, I think it's a real interesting hobby to get into because it's different, right? So a lot of us, we're so used to motorcycles and things on land, but you do have water and you have air as well, right. Which takes me to you, Craig. So you flying planes now, right?
Yeah, I just started sometime actually in 2020. I started my private pilot license course to get my license to be a certified private pilot to just do charters in the future when I'm retired. Something I want to enjoy. Right. So I think right about now I got about 10 hours total. I got like a lot more to go, but so far I like the experience. But of course, being so new to flying or being so new to a hobby, something like that, is very nerve-wracking. So I'm trying to maneuver and make sure I got the right structures as far as how to land, how to take off, and how to turn properly, and then just it's a good experience. I like it, I love it, but it's a lot longer.
Yeah, and as we're talking, the footage is actually going to be showing guys of Craig flying the plane or learning how to fly the plane.
Looking constipated.
It looks fun though. It looks fun. So that's one thing I would definitely recommend young adults to do as well. Just get your boating license or get your pilot's license. Something different that a lot of us have fears of. So when it comes to me, like I'm more of a geek person, right? So I'm really in tune with technology. I love like the whole thing with the metaverse is coming out. I'm not going to get into it now, but technology itself, I'm really into it, creating websites and things of that nature. And also I'm into finance and I'm into business as well. With that said, Stan, so what do you expect to bring? What do we expect us to bring in this podcast?
So I think with this podcast, like we just said, we've known each other for a very long time. So, and in terms of our audience, we hope to engage with you all by discussing and providing our opinions on important and trending topics, in hopes of educating and motivating people to, better themselves and others. And further on down the line, we plan on bringing experts in various fields. Also to educate you on various topics, and we want to keep it light, we want to keep it fun,
right?
And see where it goes. So when we post, we appreciate the engagement. If you guys have any opinions, right. If I have like crumbs on my beard or anything that I forgot about, please let me know so I could be ready for the next one. And
right.
If you all have any ideas too for us.
Yes,
we appreciate it.
And definitely follow us on our Instagram pages. It's going to be on Instagram. It's going to be at City Is Mine. We're also going to have a Twitter, a Facebook page. We're going to basically get all the social media pages up and running, and we'll have links to it as well. So you guys can actually follow, like, and share the podcast as well.
What I'll bring actually to the podcast is being that my field is actually more mental health related. My plan is to bring in a few therapists, bring in a few people that I collaborate with as far as when I see my patients is advocate for mental health. Mental health awareness is actually a really big thing, especially with the pandemic and everything that we're going through. Mm-hmm. I want to make sure that with our culture, with our population, with the youth and everything, that we can actually do outreach programs, give back, and which is some things that I'm working on with my guys for a nonprofit to go ahead and do public speaking events and things like that. But my mission here with the podcast is mental health awareness. So make sure that's important.
Right. And also, just to add a little bit to that as well, relationships, right? relationships are a really big deal. So as far as what this podcast will bring, we'll give you our input in regards to relationships. We all have different relationship statuses here. So our experiences and things that we've learned from our relationships, from our personal relationships, we're definitely going to be talking about it as well. Even things as current events with, celebrity relationships, things of that nature. And we'll see how we could actually put that together where it affects you guys in a way, and also just give you guys advice on our experience.
And if you guys have any questions for us, like if you want like our perspective or God's perspective, or just in general, just leave a comment in the section. It just says, hey, can you guys go over this topic, or can you bring me in for this topic? This is my wealth of knowledge, so we can go ahead and decide and then incorporate some things for questions you guys may have.
One other thing, with it being 2022, brand new year. So what does the future look like? Like, we introduce ourselves, but maybe personally, what does the future look like for us? G, if you want to go first.
Personally, 2022, I actually want to get more in tune as far as like business wise, as owning more businesses, establishing residual income, establishing basically a business where it thrives eventually. I'm not gonna lie, I have been one of those entrepreneurs that started businesses, and also I've started it and I've also failed. But I don't see it as a failure because you actually learn from that, right? So there's businesses that I've started that's failed, but the good thing about it is that it's good to start. So once you start, you take that experience and you take what you've learned, and then you apply that to your next business that you're trying to establish.
2021 was my first year being self-employed full time. And I'm for this year, I'm just looking forward to taking the lessons from last year, applying them to better myself, to have more success and have more growth. Real estate investing is what I do, is 90% of what I do, but I'm also involved in other businesses too. So I just want to boost those additional streams of income, continue growing in real estate, and just bettering myself. G mentioned health, so we all stay in the gym, and we're all health and fitness conscious, and definitely want to take care of yourself. And I want to also be closer, spend more time with family. One thing that 2021 and throughout the whole pandemic taught us is like tomorrow's not promised,
right?
With all these deaths and everything. So definitely cherish your loved ones while they're still alive. So I want to spend more time with my family and friends. And last but not least, I think I want to jump back into that love pool. No, I'm serious though. I'm serious.
Intimidated, man.
I'm serious.
Hey, how big is the pool, man?
So that's one thing too. Given the fact that so we're three black men here, right? Mm-hmm. So Stan, would you be hesitant to try other, as far as cultures? That's a question right here. And this is a question, man. All right. So I'm sorry to put you on the spot like this, man, but. Are you?
I've always been open-minded, and I of course I love the sisters. That's my preference, and I think directly. Are you asking me if I would or have I dated outside of my race, outside of black women? Is that what?
Well, all right, yeah. So all right, so yeah. So basically, would you be willing to date, as far as outside of your race, given the fact that you're in a dating pool? I
would, and I have before. Like I said, I have a preference, but I'm also open-minded at the same time, because you never know where you'll find what you're looking for. So
right,
that's my approach with most things, just to kind of keep an open mind and never really count anything out.
Right.
So,
that makes sense.
And I agree. I agree with that as well, because like you said, you never know who's gonna have your back 100%. It's I always use it as far as in the sense of business, right? You definitely want to do business with as many people as possible. And in some ways, relationships are businesses. Some people may take this clip and flip it, but I do believe that relationships, marriages, it is a business. As far as like, you're dealing with like not only just finances, but you're dealing with time that you're putting into the relationship. So when it comes to dating and when it comes to marrying, we all have our preferences. We all have our preferences, right? I being a black man, my preference has always been a black woman. But, there's no saying that, there was no saying back in the day where it's like, hey, how do you know you're going to find like a black woman or a Spanish woman or this and that? So I always kept my options open before, but my preference has always been a black woman. But just like business, I do believe that, it's not a bad thing to do business with other people and other cultures, because that's how you grow sometimes.
Well said.
Diversity.
PSA, we love the sisters. Now, enough about that.
Let's change it up real quick, man. Let's change it up real quick, man. Before we get way too deep.
Greg, what does the future hold for you?
That's a good question, a deep question. So,
Oh, man.
so just to kind of go back off what you guys were saying, I was in school for so long, like for a long time, prereqs, undergrad, grad school. So now that I'm done with school, I'm kind of still in school for my doctorate to be a DNP, to be considered a doctor or so and so. But I'm trying to get into more of the actual business aspect of healthcare and then nonprofit organizations and mental health awareness. I want to actually be a very good provider so I can actually relate to my clientele and be able to understand what's going on with them. So I actually want to get out into the community and do more community outreach things, especially with the youth, because growing up as with myself, I wasn't mental health aware about certain things I would say could hurt certain people. So I just want to actually just get back and do more community outreach and, of course, health and wellness, staying in the gym, stay fit, cardio, so on and so forth, eat right, spend more time with my son, my family, things like that. So that's my plan for 2022.
And that's what's up, man. Craig, in your field, do you see more people as far as like more minorities being in your field, or is it just more like a one-sided thing?
No. So another thing about like where I'm at, like in the hospital that I'm at, or even just looking on like Psychology Today to look for other providers that look like me, it's not really too many that actually want to do the job, or a lot of people that actually look like me. So for example, a crazy story. It's not crazy, that happens all the time. But I'm in a hospital, I'm actually going to see my patient, like I'm the provider to actually see, hey, how your meds are doing, checking up on you today. A lot of the patients, I go in the room and think I'm either the custodian or the tech. So they look at me like, hey, well, can I help you, or what's going on? I'm actually the provider, trying to see how you're doing today, see how your meds are doing for you today. Oh, you are? And they really like that shock when they look at their face like, well, it's either look like they're either surprised, or it's a look like, well, I don't really want you helping me because you look like you're young and you don't like you know what you're doing. So
I've heard stories about that before, Craig, where even like as far as like surgeons, sometimes like people who needs like surgery done, they would prefer to have a specific race, do the surgery on them, right? So have you ever experienced that before? I know you can't really tell too much about your job.
No, it's
but
cool.
Okay.
I was going to ask if so that reaction, does it mainly come from black people, like people of color, or like white folks?
No, it's honestly a mixture of all cultures, honestly.
Really? Wow.
But from our people, like people, when actually they see me, they're like, oh, that's either like, that's what's up. Like, I'm proud of you. Like, you actually got to give back to your youth. You got to do this. But it comes from all different cultures. It's all balanced about the same. But I've had a few people that didn't want me to actually treat them or see them as a patient because of my culture or my ethnicity or whatever the case may be, or my appearance. So it's part of the process. I'm just used to it. I just smile.
Right. So you basically just got to keep it moving and and go to the next patient.
Yeah, go to the next patient. I have to pass them off to somebody else. Like, hey, so and so didn't want to see me because they didn't feel comfortable with me. So just on to the next. Keep it moving.
The other thing I was gonna say, man, is to be in this field, like in the middle of the pandemic, like I think that's really special. And you deserve a lot of accolades for that.
I appreciate it.
Definitely putting yourself at risk in order to help others. I mean, that's really selfless and special. And So
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Most definitely appreciate it.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, leave your questions in your comments in the comment box below. And once again, remember to follow us. All right. It's going to be on Instagram currently at City is Mine. When I set up the Twitter, I'm going to include the links as well in the bottom of the video. Any questions, comments, any support you guys want to give us, I'm pretty sure later on in the line, as we start doing more and more podcasts, there's going to be detractors as well. So, but everyone's welcome, right? Because that makes for better engagement. And besides that, definitely thank you guys for tuning in with us for this first episode of City is Mine.
Yes.
All right. And until next time.
Have a good one.